Surely, okay. Yeah,
Oh, surely. No, I got that one. It's okay.
okay, we're going to start it. Okay, I didn't
Good morning. Welcome to Unity of Kanawha Valley. We'll begin our service with the ringing of the bell. Tegan, would you like to ring the bell? And I will light the Christ candle. Good job. And now if you'll speak with me our opening statement, and you will find that on the inside of your bulletin. We'll say that together. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in our life. God, the good, omnipotent. We'll take just a moment to hold that thought within as we become centered this morning. And now if you'll repeat it with me once more. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. God, the good, omnipotent, and so it is. Our songs this morning will be Hey, led by Jim Snyder and accompanied by Alasha Al-Qudwah. I think I said that right. Yeah, welcome. So good to see you guys.
I've been wanting to play with Alasha for a long time. It's been a long time since we played, so. Now, it's been a couple months since I've been here. You all don't look familiar to me. Would you do this? Yeah, you're familiar now, okay. Surely the presence. Stand if you like. Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel His mighty power and His grace. I can hear the blessed angels' ways. I see glory on His face. Surely Surely the presence of God is in this place. Do we have the lyrics on the screen?
We can't do that yet.
Okay. Okay. This was a new song I introduced to you guys the last time I was here. And I thought the lyrics would be up there, so I didn't print anything to hand out. So if you can remember, I behold the light in you. I can see a great peace too. I can see you whole and free. Hear the life of God I see. I can see it when you walk. I can hear it when you talk. I see this in all you do. I behold the light in you. Oh, do you? Okay, I don't know if you do this version, though, because I changed the melody. Okay. I see this in all you do. I behold the light in you. Let's do one in the Spirit. Okay? The words, again, will not be on the screen.
Consistency,
That's right. So, we are one in the Spirit. We are one in the Lord. We are one in the Spirit. We are one in the Lord. And we pray that all unity will one day be restored. And we'll know we're one family by side. We will work with each other. We will work side by side. And we'll guard human dignity and save each one's pride. And we'll know we are family by our love. By our love, yes, we'll know we're one family by our love. We will walk with each other. We will walk hand in hand. We will walk with each other. We will walk hand in hand. And we'll spread the news together that God is in our land. And we'll know we're one family by our love. By our love, yes, we'll know we're one family by our love. Let's do the first verse again. We are one in the Spirit. We are one in the Lord. We are one in the Spirit. We are one in the Lord. And we pray that our unity will one day be restored. And we'll know we're one family by our love. By our love, yes, we'll know we're one family by our love.
That was great. You all sound great. Like a whole choir. Welcome to Unity of Kamal Valley. It's glad to see you. It's good to see each and every one of you. And see, we have some first-time visitors. Would you care to introduce yourselves so we can get you? No? They don't want to. Okay, Barbie will.
This is Evelyn, who has the same name as my mother,
Oh.
and Ella, and Emily, and Matt, and they came to check us out to see
Good.
if we fit.
We usually have more people than this, but it's usually not like 32 degrees at the end of March, so there's that. Let's see what our news is today. Our announcements. UKB always collects luggage and bags for the Davis Children's Shelter, and as you bring those in, we will get those to Dewey, who will take them to the shelter for the kids that are leaving the shelter to their new homes, and we appreciate you for that. We also collect this month new socks, towels, washcloths, and Lysol wipes for the Sojourner Shelter. That's for the month of March. And please let Pam know her phone number and email is in the bulletin to arrange drop-off times if you have those items you'd like to donate. Let's see. Danny Walker in the back and Rich Hopkins, way down in North Carolina, would love to train folks to help out with the AB program at UKV. Please let Danny know, and his email is here in your bulletin as well. So for the March, for the rest of March, which is almost over, can you believe it? Barbie will be heading up the Unravel group, and that will be Wednesday, the 30th. And this is a journaling discussion group open to all who are interested. She would like to know if you're coming, so let her know. And there's more information in the bulletin about that. Thursday, March 31st, is the Spiritual Book Club on Zoom at 7 p.m. And I didn't get to go to Woody Holly last night. Who went? I hear it was great. Yeah, it looked well attended. I saw it on Facebook. But one more concert coming up in May, and there will be the Sea. I don't want to miss that one. So get your tickets, okay? That's all I have. Let's see, we're going to have, I guess, the Daily Word next. If I can follow this program here. I don't have anybody do a prayer, so Sally's going to do a prayer and a Daily Word. Thank you, Sally. You going to do a prayer? No. Okay, Daily Word. I thought, come on up, Daily Word.
She hasn't completed her training yet.
Yeah, she's still in training. She's going to be a prayer chaplain, but.
One thing at a time.
Today she's going to be.
Okay, today is inner peace. Yes. Yep, next week's. Okay. Sorry, folks. Just one of those days.
All right, we're off.
That's true, that's true. Okay.
We're just happy we're not.
So we're doing Sunday, April 3rd? No. Easter, no. That's April's daily word.
Well, here's daily words.
Okay,
Just read that.
sorry.
Yeah.
We'll get it together here before long. Okay. All righty. The word for today is divine order. Divine order supports my life. Sunday, March 27th, 2022. Divine order is one of the greatest truths of life. It provides a foundation for all growth and a blueprint for all manifestation. Feeling stuck or bewildered is a sign that I am out of step with divine order. I pause, and with compassion for myself, I release thoughts of worry, impatience, and doubt. I remind myself of times when I wondered whether a hoped-for result would ever happen, only to realize in hindsight that that foundational aspect had to be in place first. Remembering this helps me to be patient and trusting now. I affirm I cooperate with divine order. It is established in my life now. I listen with mind and heart, and trusting I will discern my path one step at a time. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not rely on your own insight. Proverbs 3:5. Thank you.
Usually Jeff tells me when I get back up that piece. I did this song the very first time I played here, and I was really new to your fellowship here, and I was very reluctant to say what I wanted to say about it. I was kind of bashful. A friend of mine passed away prematurely a couple years ago. He was raised in a very traditional mainstream denomination. And at some point in his life, he became very disappointed, disillusioned. When he passed away, before he knew this was going to happen, as he made arrangements, he asked me to play for his memorial service. And he didn't want any religious music. He wanted a Simon and Garfunkel song and a Dave Clark 5 song. And yeah, so and then he wanted to leave the third one up to me. So as I'm going through hundreds of songs looking for something, this particular song kept jumping out at me, and I thought, why is this? Okay, I'm going to go with it. And when the memorial service was over, we took the canister with his ashes. This was in St. Albans, walked over to the Coal River and dumped his ashes into the river. And as we dumped those into the river, a train went by and blew a whistle. There's a verse in here. And when that happened, I thought, okay, this all connects now. as the tears falling like rain all around you, suffering and pain. And oh, the river knows your name, and the river hears you cry as the lightning cracks the open sky, as your mama sings a lullaby. And oh, the river, she knows why. Let the river wash you down beneath the surface with a rushing sound, like a freight train passing through a town. Let the river wash you down. Let the river take away all the words you and I could never say. In the silence, darling, let us pray. Let the river take it all away. Know the river knows your name, from the Brazos to the Wabash to the Seine. No two journeys are ever quite the same, but the river knows your name. And oh, the river knows your name.
Jim, Alasha, thank you. That was so incredibly beautiful. Okay. Our speaker today, which I'm not sure what she's talking about because it doesn't say, let there be peace on earth, finding peace in the midst of turbulence. Our own Barbie Dallmann is here. If you haven't heard her before, you're in for a treat. She's a woman of many talents, as we all know, and we all appreciate every one of them. She's a delight as a friend. She's solid as a rock in this church. She's been with us for like 10 years, and she's just a joy to listen to. So let's please give her a warm unity welcome, Barbie Dallmann.
Yeah, yesterday I was over at Unity House, 8 hours painting, cleaning, or these huge fluorescent light bulbs that were stored on the shelf, and they were like 6 feet long, and they were all nasty, and so I wrapped them up in cardboard and I hammered them and broke them all up and put them in a box. So, woman of many talents here. And all the while thinking, what am I going to say tomorrow? Because this was really short notice. I think since we didn't have a prayer or a meditation before I start talking, I would like to do a short meditation. And then we'll send the kids to Sunday school. But I would like to include the kids in this. So, if you feel comfortable doing so, close your eyes. If not, just find a place on the floor, soften your gaze, and take a nice, deep, cleansing breath. And focus on that breath and notice where you feel the breath. How do you know you're breathing? Do you feel it in your nostrils? Do you feel it in your chest? Do you feel it in your belly? Your shoulders? Where do you feel the breath? Just notice. Wherever you feel it strongest, put your attention there. And now think about the concept of peace. What does peace mean to you? Have you felt at peace? Do you remember a time? A sense of calm, serenity, contentment, quiet. Think about a place that brings you peace. Think about the feeling of being at peace. And see where that is inside you. Is there a place inside where you can feel that peace? And just sit there for a moment and let the peace wash over you. Breathe the peace into every cell of your body. That peace belongs to you. That peace is accessible to you at any time. So seal it now in your heart. Keep it there to access anytime you need it. And then when you're ready, open your eyes and come back. Sally, would you mind taking the kids back and showing them a good time? Yay! So this morning's topic, this one of peace, has been on my heart ever since Russia invaded the Ukraine. I remember as a child, I grew up during the Cold War, and Russia was the enemy, and we hated Russia, and we were afraid of Russia and the godless Russians, and it was just in my sense, the fear of the Russians. And then in 1999, I had an opportunity to visit Russia, and I was so shocked that they had churches. I grew up hearing that they didn't believe in God or that they were punished if they said prayers. And all of the things that were in my head that I grew up with were just, then I learned what propaganda was. And I was just opened up to a new truth. And many of you know I have a very special friend in Russia. Her family, she has family in Ukraine. Her aunt and cousins are from Ukraine. And she has lived her entire life in Moscow in an apartment that was given to a family member and passed down. And so she has always lived in this small apartment, will always live there. They don't have the freedoms we do here to choose. And now with the war, the scarcity at the grocery store, she writes regular emails to me, and she told me that they were out of sugar and that the people were hoarding. I mean, think like snowstorm here at Kroger. You go and there's no bread and there's no this, no that. And she said, but I remember Soviet times and I know how to make do. We'll be fine. She told me about how she teaches English classes and her materials come from Europe, from England. And she said, she can't transfer money now. There's no credit cards, there's no money transfer in and out. She said, I'm not sure how I'm gonna get my materials. Well, she has a friend who lives in Ireland, whose sister lives in Russia. Her sister's having a birthday. And so they made a deal that the person in Ireland would buy the materials, send it to my friend Anya, and Anya would take the money that it would have cost and send it to that person's sister for her birthday. They make do, they find ways. I want to share with you an email, because as soon as the war started, I started having, I saw on Facebook and social media, the hatred toward the Russians. And I remembered my childhood hatred. And I thought, I'm not going there. And I don't want her to think that I hate Russia. I don't like the war. I don't like what's happening. But I pray for these people. I love these people. I love her. So I wrote to let her know that we here at Unity were praying for them and that we didn't hate them, that we didn't have hostility toward them. And this is what she wrote back, and I asked her permission to share this. She said, my attitude at the moment is to accept whatever is happening, staying calm and ready to help if necessary. Bringing love and care to the world is the only thing I can currently do. Hatred and negative emotions won't do any good for anybody. Spiritual psychologists remind us that outer war is the manifestation of inner war going on inside every single person. The inability to accept and love ourselves, our negative attitudes, all of it has reached its peak in the collective. So current events are the necessary transformation for all people. I have been watching my emotions, and I learned a lot about myself. I am learning to live in acceptance and live for the moment. And I am feeling more true gratitude for what I have, even little trifles. I am not saying I like what is happening. War and military action are not good in any way. I feel sorry and worried for my relatives in Ukraine. I am for peace in the world. I am trying to reach peace inside so it will manifest outside and stop this war. It made me think of our peace song that we sang. At the end of every service. You can take this home and use this like a prayer book if you'd like. What we say is, let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. That's really important. That's really profound. Let it begin with me. What does that mean? Later on it says, let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Perfect harmony, wow. I can do that until somebody cuts me off in traffic, right? With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. Think about it. We say this, okay? A joyous vow, that is a sacred promise. This is your sacred promise, to take each moment and live each moment in peace. What would that look like? What if peace on earth relied on you having peace here? Every step you take is peace. So I want you to participate for just a second. I want to hear what steals your peace. Because I know I'm not in peace all the time. I know stuff upsets me on a regular basis. So what steals your peace? Yes. Anxiety. Pardon? Anxiety. So do you have a specific thing that you feel anxious about? COVID was a good one. Yeah. To worry, anxiety. Resentment. Well, we get disappointed, our expectations aren't met, and we feel resentful. Anybody else? Frustration. Anything specific? Can't change things. You can't go over there and just make that war stop. You can't make people do the right thing. So there's lots of things that steal our peace. How do you get back in alignment with your peace? What brings you peace? Praying. What else?
Deep cleansing breath.
Oh, I like that. Deep cleansing breaths. There's a physiological reason for that. Even the sighing that we do is a physiological response that resets your whole system. That can bring you peace. Anybody else? Sleeping. Naps. So I talk a lot about doing your own work. If the outer world is a manifestation of your inner world, if any inward resentment, if any inward judgment, criticism has taken away your peace, how you feel about yourself, if you're not 100% totally in acceptance of everything you say and do and lovingly accepting yourself, then there's places where you're not at peace. So I talk a lot about doing your own work, but it occurred to me that maybe you're not quite sure how to do that. I know there was a time where I just bounced around from one thing to another without any intention. And so this morning, I want to offer you an intention of creating more peace, to bring peace to the world, beginning with you, bringing peace to yourself, to find a place that you're not at peace, and to find something that works for you. I have lots of methods that I use. Mindfulness meditation is something that helps me so much, but I also have a coach. I go to spiritual directors. I read, I go to workshops, I listen to books. So I have lots and lots of things that I'm always doing. One of the things when I've been working at Unity House, and I've been there working for like 7 months and hundreds of hours, and most of the time when I'm working, I'm listening to spiritual material, to things that enhance my understanding of the way the universe works. And so everything about the work I've done over there is filled with love and acceptance, and like it's mixed in the paint and on the walls. I put my intention into that, and the work I've done over there has brought me peace and joy to be able to be part of that project. So I wanted to share with you something that I did, just to share my process. This is something that I did 10 years ago, to let you know just kind of how this can play out, how you know something's wrong, and then what you might do about it. This is just a suggestion. So 10 years ago, I became aware of my 40th high school reunion. And there was a part of me that wanted to go, and then there was a part of me that said, oh, I don't want to go. I don't want to go back there. And then another part said I did, and back and forth. And well, that week, I don't know, I was in one of those coach training programs. They pushed me. It said to listen to my inner wisdom. My inner wisdom said, go and grow. It's like, really? Okay, I'll get a good mark on my assignment. I'll sign up. But then I signed up, and then I was having second thoughts, and I thought I really don't want to go. And I wrote a blog about it. It's a 3-part blog. This is part 2. I brought along some part 3s. I'm going to put them over here. You can take them if you are curious about how it plays out, because I'm not going to tell you the rest of the story. I'm going to tell you the middle part. I'm going to tell you the part where I was struggling. It was the part where I was thinking about who I was in high school. And I saw myself as awkward, misfit, unsure, afraid, uncomfortable, and vulnerable. You know, every time I thought about going to the reunion, that was the person I saw, and I didn't like that person, and I didn't want to go back and, you know, interact with that person and everybody she knew. I had been listening to Byron Katie lately and decided that this would be an excellent application for the work. That's what she calls, what she does, is the work. I love Katie's 4 powerful questions. So here's what happened. I focused intently on who I was in high school. That awkward, misfit, unsure, afraid, uncomfortable, vulnerable. That part of me that I didn't like. And then I asked myself those 4 questions. Question number 1, is it true? My answer, well, sure it's true. I was there, I should know. I remember very clearly being all those things. Question number 2, can you know with certainty that it is true? My answer, with certainty? I felt awkward. I clearly remember that part, but was I really awkward? Would a reasonable, objective observer have found me awkward? When you put it that way, maybe, just maybe, it might not be completely true after all. With that admission, I felt my thinking began to shift, and I was ready for the next question. Question number 3, how do you feel when you think those thoughts? Well, that's easy. I feel like crap. Next question. Question number 4, who would you be without those thoughts? Oh my, it's hard to say. I've had those thoughts for 40 years. Who would I be without all that judgment, condemnation, and self-pity? Well, I suppose without thoughts of awkward misfit, I might be free to just be myself, my own unique brand of me, no shame, no apologies. Who else could I be anyway but me? So I allowed this shift to percolate, and within a few days, I found myself wanting to know more about what a reasonable, objective observer might notice about who I had been at 17. And that's when an idea struck with such power that I couldn't do anything else until I acted on it. I needed to read my diary. But not just read it, I would become that reasonable, objective observer, and I would pretend I was reading a book written by someone else. I would approach the book with curiosity, setting aside everything I thought I knew about this young woman, and I would let her talk to me. Okay, Barbara Schmidt, tell me about your life. I sat down with my diary and did not get up again until I had read every single entry from the first day of my senior year in high school until the day I graduated. The rest is over there. I know. That's what when I talk about doing your work, I'm talking about finding the places inside where you are not at peace. And instead of numbing them, pushing them under, pretending like they don't exist, to bring them out and sit with them, to bring out that awkward, vulnerable, like crazy person I thought I was in high school, and to let her talk to me, to let her communicate to me, and to sit with that. I am now going to my 50th high school reunion in August, and I know I did my work 10 years ago because I have no qualms at all. I have no problem thinking about going back there. So I know that that work that I did, and especially over these 10 years, has brought me peace. So there is a shift that can happen. And part of what I've been doing the last few weeks too is I've been listening to a workshop by Wayne Dyer called A Spiritual Solution to Every Problem. And in that workshop, in that book, there's a book by that title as well, he talks about the work of Dr. David Hawkins, a book that was published, I think, in the late 90s, called Power versus Force. And from 1965 to 1994, this doctor studied the vibrations, the frequencies of various emotions and how they affect our bodies. And you might hear people talk about, vibes and the vibrations you get from people. Well, he set about measuring these things, and he just different settings like competition and just everything. He went through everything, and he assigned a number from 1 to 1,000 where the vibrations are. And what he found was that the lower vibrations, the lower vibration emotions, make us physically weaker. And they did body testing that when you're feeling this certain way, you don't have strength. So it won't surprise you, the lowest frequency emotions and the ones that make us weaker, the worst of them is shame, that calibrated at 25 out of 1,000. Shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, anxiety, anger, pride, scorn, hate, resentment. Do you notice that when I said what steals your peace? Those are the kinds of things that they not only steal our peace, they make us physically weaker. And if you indulge in them enough, they will make you sick. On the other side, there are emotions, there are feelings that make you physically stronger. Vibrations that bring healing to your body, to your mind, to your spirit. And the thing that I found really, really interesting is that crossover point between what weakens us and what strengthens us. And there's a bridge, and the place where we start to get stronger is feeling optimistic and willing. If you have an attitude of willingness that there might be something better, optimism and willingness, you will raise your vibrations enough to start getting stronger. And so you can build on that, and that's a very easy thing. Do you think it's easy to just say, well, I don't want to, but I'm willing to want to? Do you find that? Maybe that looks hard, but I'm willing. So it's just a tiny step. And then from there, it gets stronger and stronger with willingness. And then acceptance, forgiveness, understanding, love, reverence, joy, serenity, peace, and bliss. Those are the high vibrations. So to sit in, like when we did that meditation around peace at the very beginning, to sit in that vibration and let your body become stronger. Let that vibration heal you. There's so much power there. In the bulletin, we have the closing song, the Let There Be Peace on Earth. And then we also have the most beautiful prayer. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. To sit with those words is to sit in peace. Our opening statement, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. God, the good, omnipotent. When you go deep into that affirmation, it isn't good and evil battling it out. It's light. It's light, and an absence of light is darkness. How aligned are you with the peace of God? These are choices that you can make on a regular basis. If you're not feeling at peace when somebody cuts you off, you can take a deep breath. And as it says in the Course of Miracles, I can choose peace instead of this. As soon as you see it, you can make the choice to go to that peaceful place inside, to say one of these prayers. Like I said, take this with you. Read this every day and really think about the words that you're saying. And the song that we start every service with, Surely the Presence of God is in this place. You can sing that everywhere you go, because there is no place that God is not. Think about that. Surely the presence of God is in this place. Acknowledge that when you're standing in a long line waiting to check out, and that person doesn't have the right change, or there's some kind of problem and there's no price tag. Surely the presence of God is in this place. And you can choose peace instead of frustration and discontent. And as you choose peace, as you make that choice, I'll end with Anya's words. She says, I am for peace in the world. I am trying to reach peace inside so it will manifest outside and stop this war. It's up to us. Thank you.
Thank you, Barbie. We have a prayer chaplain today. Alexa, thank you.
Will the ushers come forth? And the offering blessing is on page 2 of our pamphlet. Divine love moving in and through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give in love, I trust God, and I am grateful.
This song has a part for you guys. Repeat after me. I'm gonna live in the light. I'm gonna hold on to hope. I'm gonna choose charity. Cool. All right, let's try. I'm gonna live in the light. I'm gonna live in the light. If I'm gonna survive, I must choose the bright side. I'm gonna conquer the dark so I can live in the light. I'm gonna hold on to hope. I'm gonna hold on to hope. It's a slippery slope, slick as soap on a rope. I'm gonna cope. I've got to hold on to hope. I'm gonna live in the light. I'm gonna live in the light. If I'm gonna survive, I must choose the bright side. I'm gonna conquer the dark so I can live in the light. I'm gonna choose charity. I'm gonna choose charity. I know one man's free is just let me be, but it seems clear to me I should choose charity. I'm gonna live in the light. I'm gonna live in the light. If I'm gonna survive, I must choose the bright side. I'm gonna conquer the dark so I can live in the light. I'm gonna conquer the dark. I can live in the light.
Mother, Father, God, we are so grateful to be together today. We are so grateful for our community. We are so grateful for these offering blessings. We are grateful that Unity is a tithing church, and our offerings will go forth and help others. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Alexa. Now, if you'll form our semicircle. Yes. 2 Zoom birthdays are.
Alice Vanderlyn, birthday tomorrow, and Connie's birthday Saturday.
Okay. And Sally has a birthday. Anyone else have a birthday?
She's got a birthday.
You do? When's yours? All right.
All right.
Coming up. We got a lot of happy birthdays to sing. We can't remember all the names, but we just happy birthday to you. Everybody, right. Okay, let's do it.